June 2007, aka Troop Dupe format, aka the event where you went to and the vendors had signs on the tables that said, "Sorry, we do not have Card Trooper. Please stop asking." So what is up, guys? I'm Cool40. We're going to be looking at June 2007. And this was a more interesting time in the game. What was it? Gadgets just won Canadian Nationals. Dexter Dallett was playing Royal Decree Gadgets. Japan had not had their nationals yet. They were won by Royal Oppression Gadgets. Had I known what I knew after this event, I would have probably, well, I actually would have been hella close to a top. This was actually my first professional format playing this game. So what was so special about this format? Well, there's a lot of shit banned, honestly. The things that you became a little bit accustomed to. Stratos is floating around at 1 on this format. Destiny Hero Disc Commander is running around in this format. There was a lot of degeneracy in this point in time. The big deck going into this Nationals was literally any variant of Troop Dupe Scoop. Now, you guys, as I've said, you thought Quick Fix with Machine Dupe was a really big issue. Well, being able to beam out a 400 that can go up to 1900, and if your opponent kills it, you get to draw 3 cards. I remember playing a regional at this particular format where I Lightning Vortexed under Banisher, and I was so ecstatic just being able to get that top. But the salt of the players and things like that, like anti-meta was really good. Banisher was really powerful because things like Treeborn Frog ran around in this format, along with a lot of other things, and you'll kind of get an idea for the build here when we get there. But by definition of like staple-esque formats, there was a lot of things here. Deck Devastation Virus. This is coming off of the format where Green Baboon was at 3. And because it didn't exist prior to this, there was a very short window where a lot of people got to abuse it. And shit like Magical Stone Excavation coming out of the previous format was, well, really insane. Just, once again, value was the name of this format. We were never having fun with Ultimate Offering, even at this stage in the game. I don't think there's anything too important to point out on this ban list, other than, well, you know, like, the amount of shit that is actually banned. You know, Stein's gone at this point. No Machiora, no Magician of Faith. You know, a lot of the stuff from the Goat Control days really got neutered. And definitely in terms of, like, sets, things were very progressive. So, what did a deck look like at this point in time? Well, this is basically, we're going to assume that this is basically the predecessor to like Circle Jerk, Perfect Circle, just no Light and Darkness Dragon at this point in time. It's literally just Disc Commander Turbo. Like, you guys always wondered why Disc Commander was banned. It's because this little fucker got his effect off of Premature and off of Call of the Haunted. He was literally just, you can search for him off of Stratos, drop him in the graveyard, and if you have the Premature Burial off of the follow-up, it was insane value at the tip of your hands. And did I mention it was searchable? So, and to top things off, I mean, if you didn't get there and you had the Card Trooper with the Machine Dupe, fucking mad value. So, let's dig into this. Triple Card Trooper. The only time that this card has never been at 2 in the lifespan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of this thing. 1 Disc Commander. 2 Fearmonger, once again. Destroy by battle. Since your last standby phase, you get to beam back a Destiny Hero. Hey, you guys also remember when battle effects were bad? I remember. 3 Malicious. 1 Stratman. 1 Jinzo. Triple Ryza. 1 Sangan. 1 Snipe Hunter. 2 Thestalos. And 1 Treeborn Frog. Now remember, in this particular format, tempo swinging cards like Ryza and Phoenix Wing Blast were infinite value, because if you could put your opponent behind a turn by taking away their draw, it was actually pretty insane. You know, in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you have literally just build your board and go turn one. Honestly, the game was in a good spot at this point in time, but it's much different now. Anyway, spells. Triple Brain Control, 1 Confiscation, triple Destiny Draw, 1 Giant Grenade, 1 Heavy, 2 Machine Dupe, 1 MST, 1 Avarice, 1 Premature Barrel, 1 Scapegoat, 1 Snatch Steal. Brain Control with Cyber Dragon was a tempo shifter. Literally, if your opponent monarched you and you did Cyber Dragon and then went Brain Control tribute their monarch for your monarch, and you were able to bounce something, infinite value is yours. And once again, like, when you watch the game, like, those tempo swings, they were real. You've also got to remember, like, there were a lot of things that existed in this format that you had to keep your eye on, like Spirit Reaper, because you don't really have a lot of main deck destruction outside of this, and Snatch Steal for it. So you got to consider your value. I guess you also have Ring and Phoenix, but the less value I have to put on that, the better, because this is only a it's not even really a temporary, but if your opponent like sets it and you bounce it back and then you find out it's a Reaper later, like, you're just sad. The side deck: triple Cyber Dragon, 1 Mobius, 1 Snipe Hunter, 1 Future Fusion, 1 Limited Removal, 2 Metamorphosis, 1 Overload, 2 System Down, 2 Curse Seal, and 1 Trap Dust Shoot. Extra deck: 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, 1 Cyber Twin, 2 Dark Bolter, 1 Dark Dragon Knight, 1 Dark Fire Dragon, 2 Dragoness, 1 Gatling Dragon, 1 Carbonala, 2 Ryu Senshi, 1 Steam Gyroid, and 1 Last Warrior. Now, a few things I want to point out here, especially when you're getting into the side deck here. Things like Dark Bolter off of Metamorphosis is actually pretty good, because this thing will be able to negate spells by paying 1,000. You know what are normal spells in this format? Brain Control, Confiscation, Destiny Draw. But the problem is, your essential starter to need to get into him is right here, and you can't really drop him turn 1 because Konami didn't allow that. So this would be a later passive. Same thing with Ryu Senshi. You could warp a Monarch into a Trap Negator. Granted, there's far less normal trap cards in the field for you to have to deal with. Phoenix Wing Blast would be the biggest one, but like, if your opponent Phoenix Wing Blasted like you before you resolve Metamorphosis, I would just cry. But Metamorphosis as a side deck option was really good. Also, the random OTK bullshit that would come in, like, you don't actually know how many times in this format you could just get left fielded by fucking Chimera Tech over Dragon. There were a lot of experiences that I had in this format where you had to manage your resources until Chimera came down. And the fact that this thing gets 800 times the number sent, these guys, Cyber Dragons, once again, that term insane value comes to mind, just because it's an OTK shutout card that can steal games. Outside of that, this is honestly very standard for what you would expect. And as we saw in the game, things like Treeborn Frog, the game actually takes turns to play. Things are very passive. You got to develop your boards. And I was talking about how this particular South was in control of a lot of the games you saw with a lot of the things. And because of the misplays that he made and misplaying Snatch Steal, like, I understand Snatch Steal is a power card, but anytime that you make the commitment, or like you don't have a full understanding of the format you're going into, those things, one wrong move and it just kind of starts slipping away from you. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, which really sucks, to be honest with you. But on the other hand, you practice these formats, you learn from these formats to make sure you don't misplay. That's why you got to be the master of your craft. But with cards that can passively shut down your opponent, in the case of Ryza and Phoenix Wing Blast, like, sometimes the deck can just correct you. And I guess that's kind of why we like Yugioh. So, this is a look into Troop Dupe format. My first format playing competitively. a very, very interesting time in the game's history as well. First real degeneracy here. And honestly, like, with Heraclinos and other things like Dark Arm Dragon coming into like future formats is worth money, like, I wasn't a stranger to like $100 card troopers. So it was very interesting. So guys, tell me what you think about previous formats down below. That's all I got for Troop Dupe format. Talk to you guys later. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.